Hello, and welcome to another moment with Sarah at Time to Shine Motivational Speaking and Coaching. I am bringing to you today a thing that we all do, and it was brought to my attention today, and I laughed so hard, so I thought I'd bring it to you. I know that a lot of people actually criticize what I do, and I laugh. I really do. Because you get the naysayers or the people that are like, oh my God, here's a girl with the self-development and the positive thinking and the motivation, you can do it, woohoo. And on the other end, they're thinking, she's full of shit. It doesn't work. I've tried it, or I don't believe in that stuff because positive thinking doesn't change the fact that my life is crap, or that I can't pay my bills, or that, my family life sucks, or I can't get the career I want because I have to pay bills with what I got. And, positive thinking's not going to change that, or whatever you tell yourself. I could go on for hours, but you get my drift. The ones that always think positive thinking sucks. The one that always thinks personal development, who's got time for that? The one who always said, I don't have time to take care of myself and think of the positive, I have a family to feed. And so many other things that we say that are constantly putting down the motivational speaking, positive thinking realm of the world, thinking you guys are just blowing smoke up people's butts to get some money. And you know what? You're wrong. Dead wrong. But the reason that I know that there's millions of you like that, not only do I have friends like that, I used to be one. I used to laugh. When I started in direct sales, they always told us that you should read all these books about how to become a direct sales genius, or how to market sales, or how to do this, or personal development, like with Jim Rohns and Tony Robbins and stuff. And I used to tell them, oh yeah, I believe in all that stuff. Yeah, that's great. But I'd never read it. Or I'd read it and just kind of blow through it, wouldn't take anything out of it. Or I tell people I read it, and then I didn't. Or I tell people, oh my God, I love motivational speaking, it's so great. And I truly did believe that, but it didn't work for me. It's great for her, look at her, she's made a career of it. But for me, that's trying to support my family, yeah, right. Trust me, guys, I've heard it all, I've seen it all, I've been that girl. And then I just decided one day something had to change. I was tired of being that girl that was always broke, or just barely squeaking by, or maybe I could afford a vacation every other year. Or, I'd love to put my kid in private school, but God, that's too freaking expensive. Are you kidding me? Or, I'd switch jobs, but are you kidding me? Have you seen my bills? There's no way I could do it making the $30,000 a year that I would have to make to start over. We feed ourselves full of these excuses, and I myself fed myself full of them for almost 20 years. It's not true, guys. Let me just face it to you as best as I can, and let me give you that reality talk. You are the reason you're staying where you're at. You have filled yourself so full of excuses and given yourself no way out. You can't change careers? Why not? Because you have a family? So that is 90% of the population, and like probably 50% of them are living a dream career. The other 50% are probably living just like you. Are you worried that people might not like you because you chose a career that you love? Then they're not your friends anyway. You got to pay the bills? Well, that's a huge reality. But you know what? You can do steps towards that. You could get a second job. You could pay down the bills you have without getting into any more, so that in a year or 2 or 10 or however long it takes you, you can do your dream career. There's so many ways out of it. The problem is it's way easier to complain. It's way easier to point a finger at everything else in your life instead of turning that finger around and pointing it at yourself. So much easier, isn't it? I mean, God, you would totally change careers, but man, I can't. I got a family to raise. What you have to remember is that family's also watching you. You're also teaching those kids to just take whatever job they can. And while we're telling them, I'm sure they've got stuff all over their walls, or we tell our kids, live your dreams, go do your dream job, you have a career, make good money. And all the time you're going to your job going, I freaking hate this job. This job sucks. I can't stand it. My coworkers suck. My boss is an imbecile. Oh, kids, go for it. Sound familiar? They watch what we do more than what we say. Haven't you learned that? It's everywhere around the world. And so do you. You start to believe in your own lies because you're living them. You're not doing it. And yes, I used to think personal development was a joke. I used to think that motivational speaking only worked for certain people. And that's where you're right. You have to be open to it. You have to be open to new ideas. You have to be open to going against the odds. You have to be open to not being the one on social media hooping and hollering for Friday and dreading Mondays. You have to go against the grain in order to change. If you want to follow the masses, you can, but realize most of the masses never live their dreams. If you want to go against them, and maybe make a few enemies, but make a whole lot more friends and make a whole lot more happiness for you, yourself, your family, and your money, then go for it. Change your way of thinking. And the best way to do that is personal development. Yeah, finally, a couple of years ago, I decided to stick my nose in that book of personal development and really open myself up to listening to what it had to say. And wow, what a difference. I read a couple that just didn't resonate with me, and I read them and I was like, "Deh." And then I read a couple that I was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is like speaking to me, and oh, I can do this." And I noticed a change of thinking. I noticed a pattern change. I noticed that it wasn't so hard to go to work every day knowing that I was changing my style. It wasn't so hard to live a life I could imagine being awesome. And then I started watching videos of other motivational speakers and of other people that have succeeded at any age, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I mean, I was so shocked when I read that some of the biggest billionaires didn't even start their careers till they were in their 40s. It was fantastic. I thought that it was over for me because I was almost 40, and I'm realizing, no, it's just beginning. I can start over whenever I want to. And it was the most amazing eye-opening. And then all of a sudden, I started craving it. I couldn't wait to get up in the morning to listen to another video or read another book, and it started to become more positive. Even people at work started noticing I wasn't as cranky in the morning. I wasn't as, and it was like a roller coaster. And all of a sudden, I'd go down because I'd read a book I really didn't like, and then I'd start reading what I do. And all I can say, guys, is if you're stuck, if you don't like where you're at, if you want to make a change but you're afraid or you think in your head that you've told yourself so many lies that you can't, start somewhere. Start with career coaching. I'd be happy to help you. Start with reading a book. Start with watching a video. Start with changing your habit. Just an inch. Give it an inch. And I think you'll choose to see is exactly what I saw is maybe this stuff isn't full of a bunch of crap. Positive thinking is not all about sunshines, unicorns, and rainbows. Sometimes it's just realizing that yes, you're in a terrible situation, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I am going to take small steps every day to fix that. And it was so amazing, the change that made in me. Just a small change. And then pretty soon I wanted bigger and more and more. And I read more books. I went from it taking almost a month to read an entire book. So don't judge yourself. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And then I'm like, nope, I'm going to pick it up and read one more chapter. Now I read a book a week. I'm hungry for that thirst of that positive energy, that positive thinking that no matter what happens in my life, that every day is a good day. There's days I walk home from work going, oh my God. There's days I walk home and I'm thinking, I don't want to deal with my life today. But now there's that glimmer of hope that tomorrow's a new day. I'll start over. It's okay to have bad days. Life doesn't end there. It's amazing, guys. Take a chance. What have you got to lose? What? Your life? For a better one? For a more positive environment? For a happier day? If those are the only things you lose or gain, is negative thinking and a happier life, then go for it. What are you waiting for? Who cares what everybody else thinks? They think it's cheesy. They think it's stupid. They think it doesn't work. Well, you know what? Let them live that life. Doesn't mean you have to just because you don't want to go against the masses and thinking that Mondays are actually all right. Fridays is just another day. It's okay to think abnormally. You don't have to follow the masses. I invite you to take a moment, listen to this. I have several other videos on here. I appreciate your time, and I thank you for taking a few moments with me, and I hope you enjoyed this little blurb. If you want to know more about career coaching or how I can help you, please leave a comment. Get a hold of me at bellasarahbeauty@gmail.com, and we can go from there. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and maybe a little less negative Nancy about the whole world of personal development. Have a great day, guys.